All right, video 2, because I meant to get to in the last video what I've actually done today. So, big updates came out yesterday on Brian Kohberger. 4 new released documents of the 911 call and text messages from survivors inside the house of the Idaho 4 murders. And as you know, in Devil's Advocates, I'm covering 2 cases primarily, Luigi Mangione and Brian Kohberger. But Brian Kohberger was blowing up the internet last night because of the newly released information. And here's the thing, it's funny. I had a friend over, my wife and I had a friend over with her son to play cards and board games. And it was killing me to just remind myself that having human interaction with people and sitting at the table and enjoying each other's company is more important than putting out TikTok video or doing research. But it was killing me in a way as a person who's trying to build a platform on breaking news and being on top of the story, that everyone and their dog in the TikTok sphere, including YouTube, is out there putting out detailed analysis of the new documents that just got released, and I'm still not able to touch it for hours. So that was bugging me. I have to allow myself to enjoy the company of human beings in my presence, and put aside the fact that I'm getting behind, and that when I come out finally with my take, for example, I'm doing a live tonight at 6 p.m. to talk about my analysis, I'm late to the game, right? Everybody's going to tell me potentially, at least this is what in my head, dude, this is old news. We talked about this yesterday. That's how fast the internet works, right? It comes out and already it's old news because I didn't jump on it immediately, and because I spent the time playing board games and then went to bed for the night. So now dude, that's so like 7 hours ago. You were fucking way behind the time. So now I look like I'm not keeping up with the times, or it's all in my head. So along that lines, I got a big live tonight coming out about Kohberger and all those documents and my take. And I will say this, from the people that I've watched online, their take of what they saw in those documents is different than what I saw in those documents. So I guess I still have something unique to say, because I swear we're not reading the same documents sometimes. We look at the same things and the conclusions we draw are almost opposite. So again, people who feel like Brian Kohberger is guilty, that's what they saw in those documents. People who think that Brian Kohberger is innocent, that's what they saw in those documents. I fall somewhere between. I saw some stuff in there that seems to indicate Brian Kohberger has some real good things in his case, and some things that might have been tried to be covered up because it looks bad for him. I'm going to talk about both those on my live, which I tend to lose followers that way, right? Because people either want me to be all in on Kohberger's innocence, or they want me to be all in on his guilt. They don't like the looking at both sides of it. However, let me maintain once again that at Devil's Advocates, my focus is on presumption of innocence. We have to presume Brian Kohberger is guilty in a court of law. However, if it turns out he actually did commit the murders, I don't believe that that's okay, that he should just walk because of that. Little different than Luigi Mangione. I'll be frank with you. This is between you and me, right? Because this is not going to be published on the YouTube channel public. It's for a private audience. In Luigi's case, if Luigi Mangione did kill Brian Thompson, I'll say it right now, my partner and I are both like, maybe that's okay for him to walk, that we're okay with that, because what's been happening in American healthcare system is out of control and something needs to be done. And so while I can't say that on TikTok, I can't tell people on TikTok that it's okay if Luigi Mangione murdered Brian Thompson. That's okay with me. I hope he still walks. That's something I can't say on TikTok. It's something I can't say on YouTube, but I can say privately on an unlisted channel, hopefully, and not get banned. So it's just a sentiment. It's just a sentiment that in Luigi's case, whether or not, so I'm going to presume that he's innocent, and that's what I'm going to take my focus on the Devil's Advocate. But if it turns out he's guilty, it doesn't change my support of It doesn't change my support of Luigi Mangione, because ultimately, if Luigi Mangione really was standing up for the little people and trying to make a statement and try to make a change in this country, good for him in that regards. I feel bad, yes, for Brian Thompson's family. I feel bad for his children who aren't involved in this. However, I also feel bad for the tens of thousands of people who had their claims denied, and how many people died because of a delay or a denial of claim, being forced to run through the hoop. How many people died because they couldn't afford the exploding healthcare costs in America. So in some regards, I can't feel super sorry for that. I'm not going to excuse everything the health insurance industry did because that man was a father or that man was a husband. I can't do that. So now you know how I feel about that. If you weren't clear, I think I've made it really clear. Again, I'm going to defend on TikTok publicly and on YouTube that Luigi Mangione is innocent until proven guilty. I'm going to continue to show theories that suggest that Luigi had accomplices, or that somebody else did it because of the seating reasonable doubt. But if Luigi did it, there's a part of me that's okay, because that might have been justified. It might have been, as Luigi may have suggested, justifiable homicide or an act of self-defense. So there you, again, super clear about that between you and me. So this video probably won't go very far. I ask you, by the way, not to share this. I've given you trust to come into an unpublished list. Please don't crucify me by sending this stuff out on the public that wasn't intended. This was a private thing. If even one person does that, I'm going to shut this whole thing down. So please don't do that. There's more that I wanted to say, but these videos are so long. I will try to do one more video just now to tell you some more cool stuff that happened today and what you might hear on the live tonight.